Welcome back to another video. Ladies, gentlemen and disassembly drones. Today I have a topic that I don't really want to talk about, but that is something I have to address. And because the script for this video is already 5 times bigger than my usual ones, we get right into the video. But before I make myself hated, just know Murder Drones is still my favorite show, but I still need to talk about this. So Murder Drones has, as every good show should have, a bunch of different characters, with each and everyone having a different personality, some quirk that makes them interesting, or just a good story in general. And I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but I would say Murder Drones has the best characters out of any shows that I ever watched anywhere, but at the same time it also has the worst characters I ever seen. Let me explain. I think Murder Drones has one of the best character concept ideas or character concept possibilities that you can find out there, because you have so many different possibilities how you can use each and every individual character. Like, you can see a good example for this if you look at the fan-made OCs people make, and even though most of them are disassembly drones because of reasons, you have so many different choices to customize your characters, like for example the stinger, the wings, the claws, everything. And that is only from a character design perspective. About things like backstories and character arcs I haven't even talked about. And although I could start talking about it right now, this would be an hour-long video if I did that. And because I haven't touched grass in the past 6 months, I maybe can talk about this in another video. But now to the main topic I want to mention. Wasted character potential. Like, you have so many characters that are so loved but don't really flesh them out enough in my opinion. Like, I have a list that I'm going to talk about now, and the first one is probably my biggest point. Our boy Fat. Fat is the GOAT, but it feels like that Fat is only there for Uzi to have a crush on someone before we actually meet N and he becomes good. Like in episode 2 there is his time to shine, but you could have replaced him with any other worker drone and it wouldn't have changed much. And everywhere else he's literally a background character. I would have loved for Fat to become kinda the only worker drone that has no powers like Uzi, that actually acts like kinda a protector for the colony. You wouldn't even have to animate much more for them. For example, in the episode Cabin Fever, you could have added a small scene where the disassembly drones land in front of the campers and Fat kinda goes in front of the group to protect them, even though he is already cool with N and V, but just to show that he is protective of the group. Oh, but Reptor, what if this wasn't the intention for Fat? I might hear you ask, and in that case, why does he start to fill exactly this role in episode 7? The exact same counts for Lizzy. Why is she all of a sudden outside of the bunker and actually doing stuff? If you look at her in the past, she always was kinda just there for comedic relief, to be honest. But to be honest, there could also be the mysterious caller that I personally think is the same person that is ordering Jay around, is also ordering Lizzy around to fulfill any sort of purpose. I don't know, but what I do know is that I really like the comeback of Uzi's railgun. I know that isn't a character, but let me explain. The railgun, even though it doesn't have much screen time, like all the characters I'm talking about, it has the most liked moments in Murder Drones because it is visually really appealing and used in the exact right moments for N and Uzi to come together. N has to get rebooted, and that's only help to the railgun. Uzi needs to be traumatized by Sin, but they are all too weak to take down Sin at the moment, so the railgun is the only way to kill her. And now, after it was long gone, it has what I think one of the best moments of actual character development for Jay, because she realizes or remembers that that thing is a threat and actually shows something of a different emotion than just being selfish and arrogant. And speaking of Jay, I hate Jay very much for a couple of major reasons. The first one is because she's a literal bully and I have a personal bias against that, but that is off topic. The second one is one single scene that completely destroys 90% of any lore in Murder Drones. The one where she says, effective drones are cloned more. Effective drones are cloned more. Excuse me, this is handed off as a joke, but this is the official reason, at least right now, for Jay to come back. because at least as I know, and as this episode implies, if a heart of a worker or disassembly drone is destroyed, it's gone for good. Which means in this scene, Doll should have died exactly that Jay should have died in that scene. But because Jay is back, Doll could also come back, and effective drones are cloned more. That means we literally can kill N, kill V, and kill J again, and they just can come back again because there are still more clones out there. Where the question comes up, what's the purpose of anything anymore? Like, I want to see more J screen time for actual character development that she can get, so her character is something else than, hey, I'm going to bully N, I'm going to be the villain of the episode. Oh, suddenly I'm good. For no reason, because even V was still evil, but had character development that turned her good. And speaking of good and evil, Khan. Khan is not a very good father and also is a coward. This is presented in the first episode. But over the next episode, his character develops so that he tries to be a better father. I can accept that. But what I find confusing is that he goes from being a coward in every single episode to literally hunting down a disassembly drone and also rebuilding Uzi's railgun. Like, we start at one point and instantly skip to the end. Where is the in-between? But I think my point is clear now. Monodons could have had a lot more character development than it currently has, but there's one character in particular who takes the spotlight. Of course, it's the main character Uzi, but it's normal for main characters to take most of the character development in the show, but normally the main character doesn't take away the character development of other characters. But Uzi feels like that everything is built around her and centered towards her. For example, Fat, he is only there to be the first crush of Uzi before she has a crush on N now. Khan, being a bad father, is there to annoy Uzi and make her life even harder than it is already. Until Uzi probably won't meet her father again. Then the father suddenly becomes good and not afraid anymore. Jay is there to piss off Uzi. The same counts for V. V was also there to piss off Uzi, but as soon as she starts to trust her, literally one sentence later, gets killed. Off screen, by the way. It still pisses me off. And now to some more characters that are even more wasted. Alice is there to introduce Nori to Uzi and make her think that her mother maybe wasn't that good. Then she fought and gets killed in the same episode. Now to Nori. Big character was teased the entire show long, and as soon as she's introduced, she's there to help Uzi in her arc, in that case free her from sin temporarily, and then Uzi literally eats her down a hole. My point is that all the characters are centered around furthering Uzi's character, which is a bad thing. That means the only character that has development is Uzi. Of course, there are some standout characters, like I mentioned with Khan, that he slowly starts to be a better father. But the problem is, he also starts being a better father towards Uzi. The only other characters that had a character arc essentially are Doll, V, and N. But N doesn't really have a character arc. His character changes between episodes more. But I can't explain this right now. This video is already way too long. But what I actually mean by all of this, Monodons has a problem, and this problem is that they don't give enough screen time to all of the characters evenly. I mean, of course, Glitch is an indie animation studio and didn't have the success of Amazing Digital Circus at the start to fund projects like Monodons, and of course there won't be enough screen time for everything, but at least some screen time could have been given to other characters instead of Uzi, and that would have, in my opinion at least, brought Monodons from one of the best indie animation shows to one of the best shows in general. But hey, all of my complaints, or not really, but at least if we actually want more screen time, we would have to get a second season, which probably won't happen because what is there even to tell about? I mean, the planet blew up and everyone on there is dead. Probably not, it's probably just a hallucination. But even something like a prequel, what many people theorize, wouldn't be a good decision, because if we actually get a prequel, we do not have our characters that we are known to love from the main season, which wouldn't fix the issue, and we would have to introduce a bunch of new characters again, and those also wouldn't get a character arcs, and we already would know that they're all going to die because we know it's a prequel story. But all in all, this doesn't take away from Monodons' experience. But after watching Monodons 16 times, it becomes apparent that Glitch favors more one character in particular and actively ignores all the other characters. except if they have a reason, except if they have something to do with Uzi. But at least if we get another show in the universe of Murderons, which could be a very good alternative to a prequel, sequel or anything, just in an alternate universe or something like that. Many people won't like that I'm saying this, but in the Amazing Digital Circus, at least how it looks right now, each of the characters will have their own character arcs and develop in separate ways, which means if we ever get something new for Murderons, Glitch knows how to write the characters so that all of them get equal amounts of screen time without taking that screen time away from the main character. But overall, thank you guys for watching this video. It was a lot of work to put all of this together, and just as a little fun fact, this video could have been even longer. I literally cut out 5 minutes where I explain which character has lost screen time because Uzi took the screen time from him. And also I will take a little break from producing big theory videos like this one for a while because of some personal stuff, and so that I can work a lot more on my comic so that it can come out soon, because I don't really can work on videos and a whole entire comic series at the same time. But I have one more big theory that I want to do before I take my little break.
What the hell is even that?
But anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and remember,